In this video, I'm going to show you how you can combine some of ICT concepts and maybe even make your own model out of it. The first example is, let's say we have a cell side of the curve, and right here we have a low risk cell. So in a low risk cell, we have a favela gap, and in this move up to the favela gap, we can use standard deviations. So right here we use two ICT concepts. We use the favela gap as a trade entry, and we use the standard deviations to anticipate where price should be going. So this was just a quick example of how you can use two ICT concepts. So now we can go into the charts and see if we can find two ICT concepts that combines with each other. So for this next example, we have four different ICT concepts. So as you see, we have a low, high, lower, low, higher, high. So that creates a breaker model. And within this breaker model, we have a inversion favela gap with a favela gap. So we could also use the Fibonacci tool, and as you see, this is in a discount. So let's see what happens. So right here, we make a small mohawk through the inversion favela gap with a favela gap and the breaker. So now we want to see a reaction to the upside. And that we get right here. After we got the reaction, it took a while, but we end up taking out the buy side liquidity. So for this example, we have a mitigation block. As you see right here, we have these failure swings, and these failure swings could also be used as order blocks. So that means this candle becomes a propulsion candle because we don't touch the mean threshold. And then we also could use our Fibonacci tool to determine the premium and discount from this low to this high. And in the discount, we have a favela gap. So now we have a lot of ICT concepts that we could combine. So now let's see what happens. So right here, we touch the favela gap and get a smooth reaction to the upside. So now we could use standard deviations to determine where price should go. So now let's just aim for the -2 range. Right here, we touch the premiums again. And as you see, we can move our Fibonacci tool higher up and get a better view of the discount. So now that we touch it again, we want to aim for the -2 to -2.5 range. And if you were to take a trade entry, you would enter right at the favela gap, and then your stop would be below 3 PD arrays. So right here we have a favela gap and the equilibrium range, and we also have mitigation blocks and a propulsion block. So our stop loss would be right below the propulsion block, and then we would be targeting the -2 to -2.5 range, which will give us a risk reward ratio of 2.4. So now let's see what happens. And right here we end up going even higher to the -3 range, creating a 3.3 risk reward ratio. Just to clear things up, we have a mitigation block, as you see right here, because of these failure swings. After that, we have a propulsion candle, because we didn't touch the mean threshold of these series of downclose candles that could be used as order blocks. And after that, we have the equilibrium of the range, or the discount. And in the discount, we have a favela gap that could be used as a trade entry. So as you see, we have our stop loss below at least 3 PD arrays. And then we target the standard deviations from this low to this high, all the way up to the -3 range. So that's how you could combine some of ICT concepts. Another way to combine ICT concepts is with using some of these models with other PD arrays. So as you see right here, we have a low high, so that could be used as standard deviations. So already now we have a target, and as you see, we have consolidation. So now we could anticipate a manipulation move up to the -2 to -2.5 range. And in this consolidation range, we have a fair value gap that we could also anticipate being inversed because we know we want to go higher. So let's see what happens. So right here we close above the inversion fair value gap, and then we just came down and touched it before we have this huge reaction to the upside. And we didn't quite yet touch the -2 range. So let's see if we can come up here and touch this range right here. And right here already we have touched the -2 to -2.5 range. So this would be our manipulation move. So now we could anticipate distribution, which we already are working on. So let's see what happens. And right here we get distribution, taking out this sell side liquidity that we used as our standard deviations. Just to clear things a bit more up, you can see we have our consolidation, and then we used this range right here as our standard deviations to anticipate where price wants to go in the manipulation move, as you see, to the -2 to -2.5 range. And when we touched this range right here, we started to distribute lower, all the way down into the sell side liquidity, which we used as standard deviations. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if there's anything you didn't understand, just comment down below.